Alright, well here's take two of the picture frame sort of experiment slash project with the mostly printed CNC, and I would say a few things went better. For one thing, I was able to use the speed tuning on the printing from SD on Marlin, on the LCD. I'll drop in a clip of that in a second here. To set the speed up from what I initially programmed it with, so I think it was 600 millimeters a second, and I was able to run that all the way up to, well, 350% of that, whatever that works out to be. And it was fine, and it was nice to be able to sort of turn it up a little bit at a time and see that it was still cutting okay. Another thing that went well is, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm using triangular, what do you call them, tabs instead of the rectangular ones, and that seems to have addressed, last time I would get these little, oh no, there's some right there. Okay, so still seeing some of these, oh, I think that's actually from where it plunged in though. So we're still seeing some of this, I don't know what you want to call it, like these dents from where the router bit is, you know, straying from where it's supposed to be, although we don't see them over the tab locations anymore, which is what I was seeing last time. So I guess that's an improvement. Might need to make some adjustments to the entry there, or who knows what. Big problem, I mean, I don't consider it a failure, but one big issue is that the tabs just failed over here and this thing came off. And I suspect the reason is that if you look, there's really nothing left in here underneath the, like the spoil board is, there's no wood left. But if we go over here, and again, I'm not sure how easy this is to see, it looks like the wood's actually left here. So somehow it wasn't cutting as deep on this side as it was over here. So it may have routed through the tabs, or maybe I just didn't make them substantial enough. Certainly I'd make them bigger next time. Well, anyway, I'm going to pull this off the table and see a couple things. Let's look at what's underneath, and then take it over and see how well it fits together. Alright, so here's a view of what was underneath once I pull it off, and you know, I did definitely get a little bit more engagement of the bit in the spoil board on this side, although it's, geez, it's almost nothing. But I don't understand why it is deeper over here than over here. I did surface the board, you can kind of tell here that I did it, so you know, why the gantry would be lower over here than over here, I can't say. It's not much, but it's probably, you know, I don't know, 0.3 millimeters. It's not a little, and it fades off this direction. Anyway, the particulars aren't probably super interesting to you since it's, you know, a problem with my setup, but I don't know, something to look out for, I guess. And that's probably why the tabs failed over here, because if it's biting in deeper, it wasn't leaving enough of the tab. I mean, the tabs I definitely should have left more substantial anyway. Well, anyway, let's have a look at what the results were like over at the bench. Alright, well, here's what it looks like. You can kind of see maybe that shows the tabs. Yeah, that seems to show them pretty well. And that these failed, of course. I mean, the tabs are clearly not very substantial when I can just do this. And you can see a little bit there that the bit did not go all the way through here. That what's left is paper thin, but clearly we're out by, oh, I don't know, half a millimeter from one edge to the other. Again, not really sure what's up with that. The bit should be true to the surface since I surfaced it, but well, that's what it is. That's why we do these experiments. I think I'm going to pause the video and I'll get this cleaned up and then we'll see how it fits together. Alright, so I cleaned up the edges a little bit, well, a lot, but I did not actually go to the trouble of like taking it every teeny bit. You can actually maybe see there a little bit. There's like just the slightest bit of a lip left there from where the tab was, and that's because I actually intend to use this picture frame, so I didn't want to, like, you know, take a block plane and mess it up, you know, just to show this. I just really want to get a sense of the fit. I'm going to take and tune this up on the shooting board to get it down to the last quarter degree. I would say that overall it's pretty good. You know, the result here is I'm happy with it. I can do better with hand tools than this a little bit. I mean, you can just barely see the gaps there, but I could totally close those up with hand tools. And in fact, for this project, that's exactly what I'm going to do, is take one or two swipes off the corners to get those really tight. But really, overall, I mean, this is pretty good. Totally usable, and I mean, other than that failure where it came off. Luckily, it came off after it had milled the outline, but while it was milling these rabbets, And so this I can absolutely clean up with a rabbit plane or maybe my plow plane or something. Anyway, it's not going to be hard to fix. It'll be a little bit of a defect on the inside corner there, but still quite acceptable. And don't need to use the CNC machine for this, but it was an interesting experiment just because the effect of the miters does amplify any inaccuracies. So like if I pull all four of those together, you can see that the difficult. I need 3 hands for this. But you can see that when I pull all 4 of these tight together, at least by hand, that you do get a little bit of a gap over here. Although frankly, I mean, depending on how I squeeze it, it's really not much. And a clamp and some glue would certainly make up for a lot, if not all that. Plus, like I said, I left these tabs in the. I didn't leave the tabs, but I planed off most, but not every last bit of these tabs. So I don't know. Actually, this might actually close up tight enough to be totally acceptable, even just with clamping pressure. I'll still clean it up a little bit with the plane. Just I got to fix this anyway. So anyway, kind of babbling, but I am pretty pleased with this result. Other than things coming loose and the issues I mentioned over there about the Z height being kind of strange, but we'll get those figured out. Yeah, another successful MPCNC test. I mean, certainly can't beat the price, and the support from Ryan over at V1 Engineering is first class. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into, CNC and you don't have like a particular use in mind, where you're like, oh, I have to have something that can mill steel or aluminum. I just want to get started. Can highly recommend MPCNC. It's just a really clever little project. Fairly easy to put together, even for CNC beginners such as myself. And like I said, the support's great, and you can do stuff like this. So, pretty cool. All right, anyway, enough for me. Thanks for watching.